Okie doke. Hi, everybody. It's Friday, 18th of June, 2 p.m. in rainy London. Really, really is raining a lot. More than it should be by a big margin. Okay. All right. Hopefully everyone can see the screen. So thanks for coming along, everybody. So the main item of business is I think to just try and get some meaning and learning out of the most recent potency data, which just came in. So from Paul Stapleton, which is really good. So here we are with the various bits of data that came in. So the positive controls are kind of as expected, roughly. They're performing just fine. And then we saw the first thing is the easy conclusion, which is the metabolite that we receive from Haifa, the structure of which Ed elucidated with the OH here, is inactive. So I guess we don't need to worry about it again. It means that the metabolic clearance is, of course, important because that could determine whether or not the drug's any good if it's being cleared to something which is inactive. The 5,6 core over here, I guess this is, this is just the, compounds with this extra bit here. Ed, you separated these out as the 5,6 core. I guess this is just with this ring, fused ring, with a direct link to another aromatic ring, right?
Yeah, it's just like the positive ones, but just with a 6-membered ring.
Right.
Unsaturated.
Okay. Right. So direct comparison between here, yeah, kind of thing. Right. Got it. Okay. Sniff of activity, but nothing spectacular. And the other conclusion, which is fairly straightforward, are the benzimidazoles. That's disappointing set of data. That nothing's happening, right? Good to have done, but nothing's happening. So we can deprioritize. I guess in the paper, we might want to, include one compound, which is a direct analog to an active compound, and say, this change reduced activity and several other compounds were equally inactive, kind of thing. And then we have the interesting one. So the N-linked and N-methylated compounds here, which saw some interesting activity with the simple substituent here with the paramethyl. And in particular, this value of 2, where you've got the N-methyl and the fluorine here.
What was interesting about this compound, I felt, was that it had that ring methoxy, that annoying, methoxy of doom or whatever, and it was still potent. So I think from the SAR table, I think it would be a good idea to keep the that methoxypyridine, but remove the remove the bicyclic methoxy of the ring.
Could do.
Chop that OME off and just make a version of this compound without that, because maybe that will break the potency ceiling.
I think it certainly is checking. Next time we do potency, putting this back in, because the 8,288 makes me a little nervous. Real dip, increase in potency just for MRSA versus the others. And obviously the compounds that we were interested in previously, we were talking about the N alkylation of some of these things. We were interested in exploring the alkyl group quite specifically, right? So I guess, anyone from Northeastern on the call, sorry, I've lost my gallery view, want to just comment on the groups that are being put on the nitrogen for the N-alkylation chemistry? It is the longer chain, right?
Yeah, so we are working on isobutyryl 1.
Yeah.
And we are optimizing the reaction. The problem we are facing is we are getting 2 products, monoalkylated and bisalkylated. So that we are trying to those are not easily separated. So we are working on that. Besides that, we are also working on protecting this N with tertiary butoxide. like tertiary butyl one. So that we are doing with other route, and we are getting product that is positive thing, but we have to optimize that reaction because first we have to initially we are getting 10%, so we are increasing the reaction condition to get a better yield. So we are working on that.
What's the reagent that you're using to put the group on the nitrogen?
So do you want to see the screen? Should I share the
yeah,
slides?
great. If you got something, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. If you should have privileges, hopefully.
So
all right,
you
you're going to title slide.
So initially we are working to make these kind of alkylated with most potent one. So we start our reaction with simply protecting with the cesium carbonate in DMF, and the problem is we are getting multiple spot. These two are most potent, which are identified by the mass LCMS, and they are very close. We are unable to separate these with various methods. So we are planning to move forward. Beside that, we are also working on first making this alkylated and then do the bookwork to annihilated this one. So in this, we are optimizing the reaction. We are getting yields, but those are pretty low. So yeah, we are working on that.
Great. Any?
Why are you using the alkyl iodide as opposed to the alkyl chloride or alkyl bromide? Could that possibly be why? Because it's just so reactive that you're getting clots.
Okay, so yeah, this one is we already optimize this reaction with methyl one, so that's why we are using iodide one. But yes, good suggestion. We can think about chloride and bromide, so we can reduce the reactivity. And the basic problem might be because of this thing. These two are too close to bulkier and close cavity, so they are hinder the attack of alkylation, because one of the product we are getting with the salt with pyridine one. So yeah,
I was asking this. So are you sure you are alkylating this nitrogen between the heterocycle and the benzene and not the other pyridine group? So you don't have the bisalkylated nitrogen, but you still have the monoalkylated nitrogen and the pyridine also alkylated. So what are the conditions are you using, like temperature? It's room temperature or lower temperature?
Yeah, we are using 55 degrees Celsius temperature to activate this position, because we tried room temperature also, it didn't work.
Okay.
Any other chemistry suggestions? I've got one, but I didn't want to steal anyone's thunder.
Tosylate or mesylate, but that would require a different reagent.
I think the possibility of it being alkylated elsewhere is true. The pyridine nitrogen, I can imagine acting as a little bit of an internal catalyst to make it even worse, because you can kind of temporarily alkylate that, and then you could imagine a transfer of a group over to the other nitrogen.
Or you can get some weird intermediate pyridinium salt.
Mm-hmm. The other way of doing this alkylation, if you don't want to put an alkyl group on a nitrogen rather than doing a direct alkylation, anyone want to jump in with another possible way of doing that? It's not an exam, just asking. It's a reductive amination process. You can.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that.
Okay.
reductive elimination we can do, like if we put bromine here
No,
and do the
sorry, no.
possibility.
On the other slide, sorry, when you're putting on that the alkyl group directly, instead of doing an alkylation, you can use an aldehyde or something and bring them together and then throwing in a reducing agent like sodium borohydride. And so you initially form an aminium species and then you reduce it. That's another possibility.
I think I brought it up to Quillen, another postdoc in our lab, and he told me that most likely was not going to work because it would be too sterically hindered for the reaction to happen.
I'm also concerned about that Oakwald Hartwig as well, that could be too sterically hindered because there's a terp butyl right there.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is the problem why we are getting low yield, but yeah, we are working on that. Most probably this week we will get something like at least 50% reaction we can like give.
Great. Well, you know what they say, a week in the lab saves you an hour in the library. So sometimes it's easier just to go and do it. Great. All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Fantastic. So, I mean, from the, just let me put this back up. So, I mean, obviously that is an area that we can explore. Is you know, continuing to explore the impact of alkylating there. And we've got some nice leads here. I guess my first question was to Ed, Dana, and Flavio in terms of molecules that are coming through, or that might be the next ones to be coming through, or the ones that are obvious to make in response to this. Does anybody want to nominate, you know, something or describe something which is coming through? And Giada, I guess I was hoping you could be, you know, tell us a little bit about what you're doing in the lab initially. Do you want to have some chemistry updates about things that might be relevant to these kinds of structures that are coming through?
Yeah, I can just briefly update the homologous series. So we have the starting material for alkylation. So we have the main core with non-alkylated compound. So in the homologous series. And the N-alkylation failed for us using the same method with cesium carbonate. So we are trying other methods, but it's something that should be solved very, very soon. So I think we will have the examples for the homologous soon. Okay, yeah, it's not here.
Am I on the wrong page?
Yeah.
Sorry. Do you happen to have it in front of you, or?
No, let me see if I can find it here. To be easier to.
Just outside.
Yeah.
So we're sure we're talking about this.
I think people can go on and then I get back to you.
Okay. Okay. Giada, did you want to update us on anything, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to synthesize a molecule that is slightly different. That means that I don't have, I mean, I have the core, the main core, and then attached to the imidazole, I have a benzene ring, and then a different kind of amines attached to this benzene ring. And so basically, I'm trying to do that. If you want, I can share the screen.
If you got it, yeah.
I just want to show you what I'm trying to do. Oopsie. Hopefully you can see that.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm trying to attach this ring in this position, and then try to put some amines here. But I have some difficulties in separating, into purifying this product, because it's so the polarity of the product is quite the same of the starting materials. So I did already 2 columns, but yeah, I'll try to verify this again. Yeah. If anyone has some hints, I'd appreciate that.
This is chromatography, right? You're talking about. You're
Yeah.
doing by chromatography.
I'm doing column chromatography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's co-elute. Is there a problem with that? I mean, co-eluting, or is there? It's just the
Yeah.
two. I mean,
It's that I for me it's really difficult to separate them. I mean, I did 2 columns, and okay, the first was not the best one, but the second one was good, but everything came together. So what I'm trying to do is maybe trying to do a separation with high pH. In this way, maybe the boronic acid will remain in the aqueous layer. Yeah, but doesn't seem really good. Yeah, maybe what I will do is try to increase the polarity of the column in really, really slow way, and maybe in this way I can separate better the different spots.
yeah. Okay. I thought a workup from a Suzuki involved workup from the Suzuki involves an oxidative step, doesn't it? When you do that, so you oxidize the boronic acid to the phenol, and then it comes out more easily. Am I out of date? Any
think
Suzuki experts on the call?
I don't know. I think at this point we would normally just go for a reverse phase column. If you've already done 2 normal phases and they've not worked. Yeah. I don't know if you've run it on an LCMS to see if you can see separate peaks.
No, actually I did only TLC and NMR, but the NMR is quite messy, so yeah.
The idea here is to take this molecule and then substitute the chlorine with an amine. Is that the order here? So you're going to get a lot of this stuff, and then you divergent synthesis of a bunch of molecules. So you've got to be able to get this reasonably pure looking on scale, right? That's the idea. Okay.
Yes.
All right, great. Thank you.
So if you don't mind, I can share my screen briefly just to show the compounds.
That'd be awesome.
Okay. Let me see. Can draw. It's here. Are you seeing just one scheme?
All right.
Okay. So we prepared this one. It's okay so fast. So we have different substitutions here too, not only the methyl group, but also other like the proper methoxy, which is not the ideal one, but other groups here. And we have this. So the alkylation, the last step, is a problem for us now. We are just recovering the starting material, not the unalkylated product. And we failed doing the alkylation here. So we are changing methods, including the reductive alkylation using aldehydes for this. So let's see if changing the base, we did the same method as Laurie sent us. So let's see, probably next week or the other will have some updates in your compounds. And we will complete our set of 2 compounds like with 5-6 compounds to send you.
Okay. Great. Okay. All right. And Dana, you were doing 1 pot, right? Did you want to just Do you have anything that summarizes the structures, or is it still basically according to the plan that we had?
Yeah, I can. It is the same basically as what we discussed, but so I think it would be on issue, whatever it is.
I think I've got it.
66.
Yeah. That guy, right?
Right. So the wow, I'm just blanking all the heterocycle names, but essentially, yeah. So sorry, what is the oxazole? That one I didn't buy because it's really expensive. The thiazole and the NH. No, sorry, the N-methyl. What is that? Pyrrole? God, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I know what it's called. Anyway, these two reactions I've done, and they're just really gross in every way. They smell bad, and there's lots of spots, but I'm in the process of purifying them. Then I ran out of the isocyanates. I had to order more, but then I'll make the NH pyrrole as well.
Is this microwave?
Yeah.
So just with that core then, I mean, I guess given the data here, given the data here, which essentially you're modifying, what am I doing? That, right.
Yeah,
so I mean, essentially building off this, right, kind of thing.
Yeah, so the reasoning behind making these is just so that we've thoroughly explored replacements for this 2-pyridyl, which we were concerned about from toxicity perspective. So that to fill out the SAR. The plan also is to do them on a large enough scale so that I can take some of the material and then alkylate it and test those compounds as well.
Right. So I mean, I guess the data we just got, the most similar compounds of these, and what I mean is there is some activity there. So it's not a hopeless thing to do, right? Because if these were inactive and your molecules were inactive, we wouldn't be any the wiser. But we have some activity here that we can start with.
Right, and so the potentially maybe the 4-methyl is more interesting, but that one you had to make the isocyanide. The 4-fluoro is commercially available, so I just went with that as a one-off, and I think we have enough matched pairs with the 4-fluoro that we can get some useful data out of it. If any of them look interesting, we can make them with the methyl on it as well.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so that's the plan with those. Yeah.
Just a comment for the pyrrole. This pyrrole, formyl pyrrole, it's very reactive, and not only purify before using it, but also maybe using a dilute solution of this while reacting, because this would prevent polymerization and other reaction of this reactant. Okay, it's just because our previous experience with this chemistry.
It's useful to know.
Yeah, you might end up with indigo.
Ed, I guess you're done with this.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, because we got nothing. And so, I mean, from the data, I guess, we're still tinkering with the right things here. I'm not seeing anything knockout. We need to retest this. We're making variants of this. Flavio is doing the homologation.
I think, I don't know how hard the analog of 1000 is to make, but if we can take that ring methoxy off, the bicyclic methoxy on the bicyclic core, I mean, and leave the pyridine methoxy, that would be very interesting.
Are these the ones that came from Laurie?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So the question is
whether 998. Yeah.
All these guys.
I think it's just the N-methyl ones. The 3 N-methyl ones.
Okay. I mean, okay. So, I mean, a possible question there is whether or not those exist already, if Laurie has them. Maybe could that search be done at Northeastern?
We have to check this one.
Yeah. I mean, so just around this core in particular, what is already known around that, maybe without the methoxys, for example, that kind of thing. I mean, I guess you always want to zoom in on wherever you see the greatest activity.
Wanna-
Yeah. That'd be useful. Any other, I mean, any other things we should be doing here? If anyone has any thoughts about what this data is telling them?
I have one question.
Hmm.
The positive control have like five core. So can we just do like only 5 rather than 5, 6 to 5 core, only the 5-member, what we call this string? We just get rid of the 5, 6 ring to only 5 core.
So go back to
Yeah.
this.
No,
Yeah.
just remove the like this cyclization at the position.
Remove the whole ring.
Yes.
I've made some attempts to do that, and I haven't gotten it to work yet. And then I kind of gave up and didn't come back to it, but I can come back to it and see if I can make it. I think Ben suggested trying a Negishi coupling, so I have to go back and look, but at what I've tried already. But yeah, I did try to make that, and I think it would be interesting.
And are you suggesting that because we're kind of getting persistently higher activity with this kind of compound? Is there a reason for the suggestion?
Yeah, one of that, and the second is as we are planning to get rid of OME from 1001. So it's better to just remove the ring and see whether it's showing any activity or not.
Yeah. Well, that is the part that's getting metabolized, right? And then I also wonder if you remove an aromatic ring from like the 5-6 core, if that might help solubility as well, which is make it a little bit less flat.
Hydrogen, I mean, how would you could probably open up the 6, you could probably remove the 2 double bonds at the end.
That's been made.
Core.
The
Down to
saturated 5-6, it's been made. Alvaro made it. Yeah. So I think that would give you the same issue as the saturated, the 5-5. But I've never been able to make just taking off all those methylene carbons. So I think that could be interesting if we can get the chemistry to work.
Yeah, removing this liability whilst probing that would be really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, the other stuff that's on the issue can all be done offline. I just wanted to have a conversation about that. So I think that we're getting cytotox data from Alex pretty soon. I guess I'm not sure about whether we. Wait. What was I going to mention? Sorry. Oh, the commercial amides. Sorry, have we ordered those? I can't remember.
Yes, and the lead time is about a month. I checked in a couple weeks ago, so I'll keep following up on that and just kind of making sure that that's happening.
Okay, great.
But it's expected to take a while, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's fine. I'm also in touch with Lee about the mechanism of action experiment, so I'll keep pursuing that. Northeastern friends, if you were able to get GitHub accounts, we could talk on here, if that's possible. Just log in, sign in, get an account, then we can ping you if we need things. I think of the people on this meeting, you're the only guys without accounts, right? Unless you got them. So if you were able to get accounts, we could correspond here. It's a pretty please. Okay, all good. Anyone else want to raise anything while we're all here? I think everything else can wait till next time. All right. In that case, thank you very much for coming. Nice to see everybody.
Thank you.
See you next time, I hope.
Bye.
Bye.
I think